Hello everybody, this is Connor, BoatsDon'tSink, here with another episode of Weekly Weiss, this time for October 14th, 2022. We have finally, as I was asking for so desperately last week, gotten a lot of new news. First off, we did have another Bushiroad Championship Series 2022 regional last weekend, so we can talk about the little bit of information we have from that. But we also got the Bushiroad English Conference Autumn 2022 announced. And it happened within like 2 days, so lots of information from that. First up, the BCS 2022 results that we got. It was Mexico City. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of players from that region that are active in the English-speaking communities on like Facebook and Discord and whatnot. So we're still trying to get all of the top 8 spots from that. We do know that first place was 8 standby Mushoku Tensei. We have seen the deck list for that. Second place was 3 comeback, 2 choice, 3 choice, I believe, AOT. 3 of the Mikasa 1-0 climax, 3 of the Aaron Titan climax, and then 2 of the Flock climax. That got second place. We have seen that list as well. We don't know third or fourth place, and we know that one of the top 8 positions was standby comeback Kaguya-sama. Notably, this tournament did happen the day before the restriction list went into effect, so Mushoku Tensei was not restricted for this, and Kaguya-sama was actually still restricted for this. They didn't have the runner back yet. Upcoming events, we have Sydney, Australia happening tomorrow, October 15th. So that event is only Weiss Schwarz. So I believe first place and second place both get non-sponsored Worlds invites, and first place gets a sponsored invite to the other Australia regional, where they can play for a sponsored invite to Worlds. So we'll hopefully get some pretty good results from that. Should be pretty easy to get all the information from it. Reminder, as I've had in the last couple videos, this week the English edition restriction list did get updated as of Monday. So restrictions, Batman Ninja is still its same choose one of 2, Data Live is still the same restriction for 2, and choose one of 3. Kaguya-sama Love is War has updated. It is a choose one of 2 now instead of choose one of 3. The K runner is no longer on the list. And Mushoku Tensei has been added to the restriction list with a 2-choose-1 between the Rudius rest counter and the 2-2 Ghislaine. So keep that in mind moving forward. That is in effect now for any decks that you're wanting to play. Next up, we have the Bushiroad English Conference Autumn 2022. This was not really... There were some surprising things about it. The conference itself wasn't a surprise. We knew one was probably coming up in the next few weeks. I was a little surprised that it was this early, and I was very surprised at the absolutely massive amount of information we got from it. As usual, they gave us hints. Instead of spreading them 1 hint per day, it was just every hour. They gave us a new hint after they announced the conference. We got 7 hints in total, which is way more than we've been getting. Last time we only got like 3 hints, I think, and they ended up being like Kaguya-sama 2, Data Live 2, and Avatar. This time we got 7 hints. Once again, you should follow me on Twitter. I did post my prediction for all of these hints. We got 6 of them right, and the 7th one was basically not possible to get right because it's for reasons that we'll look at. But we got the other 6 right, so you should follow me on Twitter for sweet predictions like that. First thing they gave us was some actual card reveals for 7 Deadly Sins 2, Revival of the Commandments. This is the it's English original set. It's the second English original for this year. It's a sequel set, support set for 7 Deadly Sins, which came out as an English original last year. These are the first 2 cards we've seen. It's the Meliodas and Elizabeth SPs. Just real quick rundown of what these do. The Meliodas, on play from hand, you can discard a card, reveal top card of your deck, and then salvage a level X or lower character, where that's the level of the revealed card. And on attack, you can give one of your characters plus 500 power until end of turn. The Elizabeth is a Brainstorm, pay 1, rest itself to salvage a character for each climax you hit, and has a Climax combo. When you place the Climax, if you have another Britannia character, you can put the top card of your deck into your waiting room, and then salvage a level X or lower character, where it's the level of the card that you milled. So I think the Brainstorm is actually insanely powerful. Putting 2 of these in the back row and just trying to like slam that Climax every turn, while having your Brainstorm, can allow you to really fit whatever utility in your front row you want. So if we get anything akin to the Gabby 1-0, for example, from Attack on Titan Final Season that can give you stock when you play a Climax, or anything like that, this could be just a super powerful advantage combo for decks to play over a level 1 combo, which I think is a really cool direction that we don't see decks go very often with these level 0 combos. Often they sack the Climax, so you can't resolve multiples. I think this Elizabeth is really exciting for the deck. The Meliodas is also a good utility card, for sure. Elizabeth is presumably at double rare. She's card number 1. Meliodas is card number 6, so this is probably going to be a rare in the set. Which actually has me kind of interested as to whether we're going to get... I mean, I guess we'll get a Meliodas double rare, and it's going to be the Deadly Sin rare. I can't imagine Meliodas not getting a double rare. Next up, they gave us some just card art previews for Avatar: The Last Airbender. These are both cards from the trial deck, I believe they said. So trial deck is going to be yellow-blue, which makes sense. I expect that in the booster we'll probably maybe see Aang in all 4 colors. I'm not really sure. Otherwise, I expect they're just going to be split up sort of like by nation sort of thing. But no real hint as to what the cards do, unfortunately, so we're just left guessing on that. But trial deck is yellow-blue, I guess. They also gave us a reminder that Data Live Volume 2 is coming soon, and as of today, at some point, the product page actually updated with this release date. They said in their recap announcement, like, get ready for pre-orders coming very, very soon. So yeah, March 24th is going to be the Data Live Volume 2 release date. Meaning that as of now, it doesn't look like we're getting any January release. So we're just going to move from 7 Deadly Sins on December 16th, and we won't get another release until February 17th, nearly 2 months later. Really over 2 months later for Kaguya-sama. So that'll be, I guess, a break for people's wallets. Also a reminder that Chainsaw Man will be coming soon. We still don't actually have a release date for this in Japanese, so English is still probably a little bit away. Japan is getting the trial decks in winter, I believe, and then the booster pack in early summer. So probably going to be like July for Japan getting the booster pack, and maybe February or March for the trial decks. And then will be some period of time after that. Hopefully, maybe a simultaneous release with the booster. If we could get this in July for English, I could see that happening. The first new announcement that we didn't know was coming is the Bang Dream Girls Band Party Cheering Collection. This was the one hint that wasn't really possible to get unless you just really big-brained it. Because the artwork on these cards, it is artwork that was like out there, like it's known. This, I don't believe this was the artwork they used at the Bushiroad on the road, but it might have been. But this artwork has existed, but there are no cards in Japanese that use this artwork, so this artwork is actually like English original, I guess. And there are no cards with this like card name in Japanese, I don't believe. It's like technically new cards. However, the effects on them, it is an effect that Japan already has on a different promo line. They're all the same effect. On play from hand, you can discard a climax to search your deck for a character. The character that you search has to either be anniversary trait or the trait of whatever band they're from. So when you buy this collection, the Cheering Collection, you're going to get one copy of each of these 7 cards. They are signed. I assume they'll be foil, hot stamp, The usual, similar to the Kira Kira collection previously, which had the 5 original band leads, reprints of some of their cards from Girls Band Party, with like different art and hot stamp signature and stuff. These will be available at the Bushiroad on the Road starting later this year. Since the Anime Weekend Atlanta one was canceled for late October, I believe there are 2 remaining after that, so November and December. We've yet to see whether they'll be available at the November one, but December, I assume they'll definitely have these available for. The second announcement, this was the hint that we were kind of unsure about, the hint being a gift from the song Power Up by Red Velvet. The really biggest guess was, oh, are they bringing Power Up sets? And, well, they are. Now, the Power Up sets, for those of you who are unaware, they released 7 of these in Japanese in 2 waves, one in early 2016 and one in late 2016. They chose 6 titles. One of the titles got 2 power-up sets, and gave them 8 new promo cards that you got 4 copies of each in the power-up set, as well as a 9th promo that you got 1 copy of. And then some of them got an additional 10th promo for like the release tournament events. These were basically intended to power up old sets, really like 2014 and older, so like 2+ years old. Some of them as old as like 5-6 years at the time they got these power-up sets, just to sort of revitalize them and bring them back into the meta. The issue being, bringing these to English, these were power-up sets designed to bring like pre-2014 sets back into a 2016 meta, and we're currently in a 2022, like 2023 meta, which is significantly higher power level. Really, like, even not looking at straight power creep, standby didn't even exist when these came out in Japanese. So like, these are like designed with no intention of competing against like standby strategies. So the power level in these, obviously it's going to make the decks that they support stronger than they were previously, but whether they'll actually be strong enough to compete, I highly doubt. Maybe you'll see fringe results here and there, but I'm definitely not expecting them to consistently move back into the meta. The 3 sets that they're bringing them over for are Kill la Kill, Log Horizon, and The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. These were the only 3 out of the 6 in Japanese that have gotten English releases. The other 3 were Clanad, Idolmaster, and Railgun. So these were the only 3 that they really could have brought over. Personally, my hope was that they would, whether they bring these 3 over or not, I know there are a lot of old fans of Haruhi and Kill la Kill especially that have really been wanting these. I've personally been wanting the Haruhi one, for 6 years since it came out in Japanese. But I think this is a case of too little too late, probably. But my hope is that they continue this trend of power-up sets and design new power-up sets specifically for English. For sets like Cardcaptor Sakura, Mob Psycho, give them 8 new promos, and you can actually realistically pull a deck like Cardcaptor Sakura back into the meta. Give it a new level 1 combo, a couple utility cards, and maybe a good off finisher, and you're good to go. Mob Psycho, same scenario. A lot of these earlier English original sets are only missing a small handful of cards to really be powerful in the meta. So hopefully we'll see that happen moving forward. I'd really, really hope for it. I'd enjoy that. The third announcement that we got was one that was actually very recently announced in Japanese and barely has any spoilers. Just got its second wave of spoilers today, I believe, in Japanese. That is Sword Art Online, the animation, 10th anniversary. There's some like good news and bad news here. Good news is that we're getting Sword Art Online animation 10th anniversary. Bad news is that means that we're probably not getting the light novel 10th anniversary set. I was really hoping. The hint for this one was very obviously Sword Art Online. It was Lion Dense Arrow, which is an anagram for only Sword Art Online, really. And I'm I'm excited to see more Sword Art support, for sure. However, this is the second anniversary trait set for Sword Art in terms of design, since they got the light novel set. I'm a little concerned that if we don't have the light novel set, there might be, like, key cards to the deck that they're expecting you to have, like, in building from the light novel set that will be missing if you only have the animation set. That could be problematic. Hopefully we'll just get the light novel set further down the line, and it's something that is still possible. But for now, we're just gonna have to deal with only the animation set. Now, some other good news here, potential good news. When the product page for Data Live Volume 2 got posted today, in the signatures section, the signed cards section, Data Live Volume 2 only has 9 signed cards. However, they listed 10 names, and one of them was Silica from Sword Art Online, with the correct Sword Art Online voice actress, that I think maybe was potentially just copied over from the wrong product page. But that could be a small sign that we might be getting signatures back for Sword Art Online. We did lose them previously with Alicization Volume 2. We got the hot stamp designs because of Aniplex, we assume. So getting signatures back as a slight possibility here is pretty exciting. I know nobody likes the hot stamp designs. People really want the signatures here, so hopefully. Here's to hoping. Next announcement we got was probably the most obvious one. The hint threw a couple people off. It was a haiku about, like, a loud noise and then clouds over your head while you sleep, and then, like, candles. 5 candles. So it's Bang, Dream, and then the 5th anniversary, right? Even if you didn't get the hint, this one, you know, we've been able to see coming from a mile away. Like, it's Bang Dream. Obviously, we're going to get this in English. It's really easy for Bushiroad to bring over. And Bang Dream is still relatively popular. It did well in the spring season. It hasn't had any results in the fall yet, but this set could very well change that. We don't have a release date for this one yet, but I'm very much expecting April 7th. The weekend following April 7th is the actual 5th anniversary of the mobile game in English, so it would make sense that they'd put it there. Last year they did the same thing with the premium booster. They put it right on the Friday closest to the actual anniversary in early April, so expecting that. Excited for this one. This is another set that focuses on the anniversary trait, so it's a little hard to mix into the older decks. So if you're just getting into Bang Dream, this set is actually really great to start with because you can build out of it and it alone. But if you have been playing the deck for a long time, you will get some support in this set, since all the cards work off of Anniversary and their specific band. You can upgrade your band decks from this set. Next, we have another one that, you know, we could have seen coming from a mile away. Saekano Flat. This is the second set for Saekano. Obviously, if they gave us the first set, like, 4.5 years late, the only reason they'd be doing that was to give us set 2 and 3 as well. So we're getting set 2. Set 1 comes out in 2 weeks from today, and then we'll get set 2, you know, probably next summer-ish, spring-summer. This set is actually noticeably higher quality than set 1. You might remember me being pretty upset with set 1, just from like a power level standpoint, not really being worth your time to buy a lot of cards from, because it was weak when it came out in 2018. It's very weak now. Saekano Flat, however, is, I don't know that it's going to be incredibly strong in the English meta. It's probably going to be, like, playable enough. But when this set came out in Japanese in 2020, I believe, it actually dominated the meta for a decent bit of time, and ended up getting restricted. So it'll be interesting to see how an unrestricted Saekano will do coming into the English format, with, you know, a lot of different environmental factors surrounding it. This announcement is probably the one that I'm the most excited for out of what we just got. One that I was very much not expecting. One that, even after seeing it announced, I am really confused and don't actually think this has enough popularity in the West to be successful. But maybe I'm just completely wrong. we're getting the Fruit of Grisaia. This is a visual novel that got an anime, and it's gotten 2 sets in Japanese, but I don't hear anyone talk about this in English really outside of like the Japanese Weiss groups. So really curious if the sales on this are going to be good. I do think this deck is going to have a very interesting spot in the meta as an anti-heal deck. It is one of the first anti-heal that Bushiroad has printed in a very long time, and a lot of the ones that exist in Japanese we don't have in English. It's pretty much just Kill la Kill and Kill la Kill and Contact Collection that we have in English. And while Kill la Kill is getting the power-up set, Grisaia is going to be most likely a much stronger deck overall to be able to leverage that anti-heal. So really interested in seeing where that goes in terms of the meta. And obviously if we're getting set 1, I think it's fairly likely that we'll get set 2 as well. And lastly, another one that really shouldn't be surprising anybody, the Quintessential Quintuplets 2 released recently was a huge hit and has been taking tournaments by storm. Obviously, we're getting the Quintessential Quintuplets movie. It recently released in Japanese, I believe about a month ago. Set is incredibly strong, still dominating the Japanese meta even with a restriction list. The set hasn't been restricted yet in English. I'm very much expecting it to be after the fall season. Maybe even before the end of the fall season, but most likely like March, assuming they keep like a 6-month restriction list cycle going. And Quintessential Quintuplets movie, it just makes the deck even stronger. It really makes the deck strong enough that the first restriction list doesn't matter, and we're probably gonna have to hit it a second time. But you know, we'll see when that comes out. I'm expecting this to probably be like May-ish, assuming they want to keep the same gap between sets 2 and 3 as 1 and 2. There was a 9-month gap between set 1 and 2. 9 months from the August release of set 2 is gonna put you around May-ish for this. So we'll probably have it for part of the spring season, but not the entire spring season. So hopefully we won't have to deal with it in the fall season, next fall season, unrestricted. That's a lot of announcements. It's actually like enough announcements that with Data Live in March, assuming they did like a 1 set a month for the rest of it, like we'd go April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We have sets all the way for like a year. I am very much hoping that they stack some of these up into like multiple releases in the same month. I'm definitely expecting the power-up sets to probably all 3 release on the same day. But I know some people complain about the like 2 to 3 week gaps between set releases, but with this many sets getting announced, and some other really big series that should be coming to English that didn't get announced, I would really hope that they do stack some of these up with like the 2 to 3 week gaps so that we can get some more fit in there. There's pros and cons to a fast release schedule, but I think in this scenario, getting some more sets in there wouldn't hurt. With that is all the information that we have for this week. I say that's all as if it wasn't a lot. We got a ton of new releases. I'm very excited for the upcoming release schedule. Especially, you know, more Sword Art support, more Bang Dream support. Grisaia, I'm very excited for. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Chainsaw Man, we have no idea what those are going to do, but they'll probably sell well. But, you know, until next week, you can follow me at BoatsDon'tSink on Twitter, and you can check out our store at Iron City Games on Facebook or ironcitygames.tcgplayerpro.com. We have singles, sealed product, and playsets for pre-order. Very soon, we will probably have all of these new sets that were announced, or at least most of them, also up for pre-order, both sealed product and playsets. So make sure to check us out and give us a good old like on the Facebook page and whatnot. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.